Hey everyone, welcome back to This Little Life. I'm Zakia, and today we're continuing our conversation about grief. In the last video, we talked about the things no one tells us about grief, like widow brain and the physical and psychological impacts. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out after this one. Today, we're focusing on a particularly tough aspect that creeps in, that is guilt. I also promised a special surprise, so get comfortable, hold on to your hats, and let's get real. Guilt when grieving is not just feeling like you've done wrong or you've failed, but also feeling unworthy of surviving. There's this weight of all the things unsaid and undone. You might think, if only I had done this differently, or you feel guilty for those moments of happiness that sneak in, as they inevitably will do. We want to feel better, but when we feel okay, we feel guilty for feeling okay, and then we don't want to be okay. Yes, grief is the circus and we're the dizzy clowns. What helps is to accept that guilt is a common part of grief, but it's undeserved. We are all imperfect, and hindsight and memories can be incredibly harsh. Try to focus on the positive memories and the love you shared, and forgive yourself. Self-compassion is crucial in healing. Now, I know this sounds cold and hard, but if we're beating ourselves up for things we should not have said or should have said and so on, it's pointless. There is no time machine to take us back. We can only learn and do better with the loved ones that we still have with us. And then there's the guilt for doing your daily life, whether it's your job, seeing to your home, or whatever. We were left behind because our time was not done, which implies that we still have something to contribute to this world. This requires us to be fully functional, so there is a time that we are going to have to be okay. Some people call it moving on or getting on with it, but I haven't defined it for myself yet. Acceptance of what happened, which is one of the stages of grief, does not automatically equal being okay as you in your body and mind. That requires a lot of positive self-talk and reflection on the value you add in this life. Guilt for getting through every day ravages the heart and mind, but getting through and getting better is required of us if we are to function in this world. Again, I was lucky to have a year at home to be a hermit and grieve, but a few months in, I had to do something to earn a living and pay for essentials. It was difficult to start online tutoring, but I had to be okay for every session and get it done. And then a year later, I got my current full-time job, and that was so hard. It was a year to the day of his death that I started work, so marking the year was mixed with meeting new colleagues, finding my feet at work. And then emotionally, I was juggling misery at the loss, joy and gratitude about getting this job, and then the immense weight of the guilt for taking a step into what would be my future without him. The feelings and thoughts were hard to process, and I couldn't speak about it easily. Again, journaling helped me. Writing everything down helps to understand the contradictory thoughts and feelings. You can then zoom in on the positive soul-rebuilding thoughts and magnify them. Remind yourself that you still have something to give, even if you don't know what it is. And know that this is why life is still happening to you. Recognize the positive things about yourself and what you do. Talk to people close to you who see your value. It is hard work to find your purpose alone if you are in such thick darkness. And this leads me to the other side of the guilt coin. I had an incredible support system. From the moment my family and friends heard of my husband's death to this day, 3 years and 2 months later, I have had people at my side helping, listening, and comforting. In the last video, I spoke about my cousin who stayed with me for a month. A year later, she lost both her brother and her father, my cousin and uncle. And I was not able to do the same for her because I had just started work and I couldn't take leave. I did what I could, but it was not what she did for me. Then there was my brother, my nieces, my close friends and family members who did so much, and despite the widow brain, I remember it all. I feel like I was an invalid and they were picking up the slack. How do I repay that kindness everyone showed? And this is what I'm struggling with right now. And if I find a way to deal with it, I'll share. But if you have any wisdom to share on this, please leave a comment. I will appreciate your insight. Guilt is pointless, yet so large an emotion. I could process some of it through writing my thoughts down, but I still feel like I need to show the gratitude I have for everyone who rallied around me, and I don't know how. So I guess gratitude is going to be one of the next topics we should discuss. Now, before I wrap up, there's that little matter of the surprise I mentioned. As a way to help you on your journey, I'm giving away 5 copies of a guided grief journal I developed. It includes sections for you to make those lists I talked about in the last video, write down important dates and occasions, and there's lots of space for you to write down your thoughts and feelings. It's also a practical gift to give to someone who is recently bereaved. To get one, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below sharing your thoughts on grief or how you've managed your own feelings or experiences. I'll be choosing the recipients based on meaningful comments shared. This journal has helped me, and I hope it can help you and your loved ones too. Knowing what I went through and what I'm still dealing with, and that so many others are going through the same and will go through the same, is also why this channel exists. So if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for future content, and share this with someone you know who might find this helpful. Until next time, keep living this little life because every moment matters.